Wow. Um, this deep dive, you've given us some seriously thought-provoking material to work with here.
Yeah.
I mean, we're really getting into some big questions about humanity and the universe and what it really means to be evolved.
Absolutely. And these sources offer a really unique perspective on where humanity stands today and where we might be headed.
Yeah, the first thing that struck me was this picture that's painted of humanity's current state, and
Wow.
it's kind of sobering when you look at some of the facts presented, things like over 650 children dying of starvation every hour.
Right.
And then on the other hand, you've got like 85 individuals possessing more wealth than half the world's population combined. It's a lot.
It is. And the sources don't shy away from those harsh realities, but they use them to highlight this key idea that humanity, we might still be in a sort of cosmic toddlerhood.
Cosmic toddlers.
Okay.
Now I'm intrigued, but I'm going to need you to unpack that one for
All
me.
right, so imagine toddlers, right?
Yeah.
They're capable of incredible love and joy, but they're also prone to tantrums.
Yeah.
They can be destructive and they don't fully grasp the consequences of their actions.
Right.
And we as a species, we're capable of amazing things, incredible technological advancements, art, music, acts of selfless compassion.
Yeah.
But we also see the flip side. We see the violence, the inequality,
Yeah.
the disregard for our environment.
Right.
And so the sources suggest that maybe we're still learning,
Okay.
still growing into our full potential.
So, like, toddlers were capable of both great and terrible things, but maybe haven't quite mastered this whole being human thing yet.
Exactly. And sources emphasize that just like toddlers, we have old, immense potential for growth.
Okay.
We're not doomed because of our shortcomings.
Okay.
We're on a journey.
Okay. That's a slightly less terrifying way to think about it.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder, what does it actually mean to be highly evolved? Because clearly, if this is us in our toddler phase, there's a whole lot more to strive for.
That's where the source material takes a fascinating turn. It introduces this concept of highly evolved beings, or what the source material sometimes shortens to HEBs, existing elsewhere in the universe.
HEBs.
And these aren't your typical aliens from science fiction.
Okay.
They're described as beings characterized by a lack of violence, a deep understanding of the nature of reality, and advanced consciousness.
So we're like figuring out how to not blow ourselves up with nuclear weapons. And meanwhile, there are these beings out there who've moved beyond all of that.
That's the idea the sources put forward.
Okay, so tell me more about how these HEBs perceive the universe, because the sources made it sound like they experience reality in a completely different way than we do.
Right. One of the most mind-bending concepts is how HEBs perceive time and space.
Okay.
They don't deny the existence of these things, but they experience them in a way that's almost beyond our comprehension.
Really?
And the sources use this analogy of a DVD to illustrate this.
Okay, a DVD. How does that even relate to the nature of reality?
So imagine a DVD of your favorite movie, right? The entire movie, the beginning, middle, and end, exists on that disc simultaneously.
Right.
Right.
Right?
But we as viewers experience it one scene at a time, in a linear fashion.
Okay.
HEDs, according to the source material, have a more expansive perspective. It's like they can see the entire DVD, the whole story arc of reality, all at once.
So you're saying they experience time, like we experience a movie on DVD. We're limited to each scene as it plays, but they can see the entire story arc at once.
That's the idea.
Wow, imagine the insights that could bring. No wonder they're considered highly evolved.
Exactly. Their understanding of time isn't linear like ours.
Yeah.
It's more holistic, it's more interconnected. And this different perception isn't just limited to time. It extends to their very being.
What do you mean?
The source material says that they can transition between physical and non-physical states.
Okay, hold on. We're going to need some more explanation on that one.
Okay.
What does that even mean?
So think of it like this. Imagine a fan.
Okay.
When it's spinning slowly, you can see each individual blade.
Right.
But as it speeds up, the blades seem to disappear.
Right. They just become a blur.
Right. They haven't actually gone anywhere. They're just vibrating at a frequency that makes them invisible to our eyes.
So you're saying these HEBs can, like, shift their vibrational frequency to interact with the physical world or retreat into some kind of non-physical realm?
That's the idea that the sources propose.
That's wild. Okay. My mind is officially blown. We've gone from cosmic toddlers to interdimensional beings in the space of like 15 minutes. But if we can tap into those vibes even a little, it makes you wonder about our own potential.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where this concept of the third invitation comes in.
A third invitation. Who's extending this invitation?
Yeah.
And what's it all about?
It's not so much about who's sending it as what it represents.
Okay.
The sources describe it as an invitation, not a command.
Okay.
It's an invitation to those who feel called to help humanity evolve,
Mm-hmm.
to bridge the gap between our current toddler state
Mm-hmm.
and that more awakened way of being that these HEBs embody.
Okay. So it's not about waiting for a spaceship to come down and beam us up to a higher level of existence.
Right.
It's about actively participating in our own evolution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the invitation itself is multi-layered.
Okay.
It's not just about being a good person,
Right.
though that's certainly part of it. It's about recognizing the inherent goodness, the divine spark within ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and then reflecting that awareness out into the world.
So recognizing that spark, that inherent goodness, what does that actually look like in everyday life? Because it sounds like it's more than just like recycling and holding doors open for people.
It's about the choices that we make.
Okay.
The sources highlight this importance of choosing love over fear,
Mm-hmm.
choosing to act from a place of understanding and compassion,
Okay.
even when faced with things like the inequality and suffering that we talked about earlier.
So instead of getting angry about those things, finding constructive ways to actually make a difference.
You're on the right track.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that we're all connected, part of a larger web of existence. Okay, that separation is an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And the HEBs understand this on a fundamental level, and it influences everything they do.
Okay. That makes sense. But it's also kind of daunting, right? Knowing that everything we do, every choice we make has these ripple effects.
Right.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is. And that's why the sources emphasize that this is a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
We're all a work in progress,
Mm-hmm.
stumbling along this path of evolution.
Okay.
And the third invitation isn't about being perfect. It's about striving.
Okay.
It's about consciously choosing a better way.
That's actually really reassuring to hear because, let's be honest, even knowing all this stuff intellectually, I still catch myself acting out of ego, out of fear,
Yeah.
more often than I'd like to admit.
And that's completely normal.
Yeah.
We all have those moments.
Yeah.
The key is recognizing them, learning from them,
Right.
and continuing to move forward with that intention to align ourselves with something bigger than our own individual selves.
So embracing the journey, acknowledging our imperfections, and choosing love, even when it's hard.
Yeah.
It sounds like answering this third invitation is a lifelong practice, not a one-time decision.
Exactly. And the fascinating thing is, according to these sources, we might not be in this alone.
What do you mean?
There might be help guidance even from those highly evolved beings that we were talking about earlier.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying that the HEBs are actively helping us evolve? That they haven't just like abandoned us in our cosmic playpen to figure things out on our own?
That's what these sources seem to suggest.
Okay, tell me more about that because now things are getting really interesting.
So the sources suggest that some HEBs might be assisting humanity in a couple of different ways.
Okay.
The first is through what they call energetic assistance.
Energetic assistance. Okay, that sounds pretty vague. What does that actually mean in practical terms?
Think about those aha moments you get.
Okay.
You know, when a solution to a problem just pops into your head, or
Yeah.
you suddenly feel inspired to create something new,
Mm-hmm.
or even those times when you feel inexplicably drawn to a certain book,
Mm-hmm.
a quote, or even a new way of thinking.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We've all had those moments, but are you suggesting that those are HEBs, like messing with our minds, sending us subliminal messages from across the cosmos?
It's not about mind control or anything like that. Think of it more like subtle nudges
Yeah.
in the right direction.
Okay.
The source material suggests that HEBs might be able to influence the flow of information, of inspiration
Okay.
within the collective consciousness.
Ah.
Like they're whispering ideas and insights into the universe,
Mhm.
and we're picking up on those vibrations.
Okay. That's actually a really cool concept.
Yeah.
It kind of explains why some ideas seem to pop up almost simultaneously in different parts of the world.
Right.
Like the time is right for that idea to emerge.
Right.
And maybe, just maybe, HEBs are playing a part in that process.
Exactly. And it's not just about these big world-changing ideas either.
Right.
It could be something as simple as a moment of clarity that helps you be a better friend, a better partner, a better parent.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that we're part of something much bigger than ourselves.
Yeah. So it's about being open to those whispers of inspiration, those subtle nudges from the universe, and trusting that maybe just maybe, we're being guided towards our higher selves.
That's the general idea.
Okay, I'm on board with that. What about this other way that HEs are supposedly helping us? This is where it gets really sci-fi, right?
Yeah. The second way, according to the sources, is much rarer
Okay.
and far more subtle. It's called physical embodiment.
Physical embodiment. Okay, we're talking about actual HEbs walking among us.
In human form, right.
That's the idea presented in the sources, yes.
Wow, so no close encounters of the third kind or anything like that?
Not quite.
Okay.
The sources emphasize that this type of embodiment is incredibly rare. And its purpose is not about grand pronouncements or revealing themselves as alien saviors or anything like that. It's about quietly embodying those principles of love, compassion, and wisdom that we've been discussing.
So living a life that reflects those higher principles, inspiring others through their actions rather than through some big reveal. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about planting seeds of awareness, showing through example what's possible for humanity.
This physical embodiment idea is really fascinating.
Yeah.
The source material emphasizes its rarity,
Right.
but it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What if some individuals throughout history were more than they appeared, not in a Hollywood alien invasion way,
Right.
but quietly embodying a higher way of being?
It's a question worth pondering.
It is.
And it ties back to this idea that we might not be alone in this journey, whether it's through those subtle whispers of inspiration or the even rarer presence of embodied HEBs.
Yeah.
The sources suggest that there's support available for those who choose to answer the third invitation.
Okay. That's both comforting and a bit awe-inspiring at the same time.
Yeah.
But it also makes me wonder if we're being helped, even subtly. Does that mean we don't have to try as hard? Like, can we just kind of sit back and wait for the HEBs to fix everything?
That's a great question.
5.
And it leads us to one of the most empowering messages found in these sources. We're not off the hook. Just because there might be some cosmic help available doesn't mean that we can just sit back and let the HEBs do all the heavy lifting when it comes to evolving humanity.
Right, right.
Remember that DVD analogy we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
The entire movie might be there, all those possibilities existing simultaneously.
Right.
But we choose which scenes we want to focus on,
Okay.
which experiences that we want to create for ourselves.
Yeah.
That power rests with us, individually and collectively.
So we might have like a multidimensional support system cheering us on, but we're still the ones holding the remote control to our own evolution.
Yeah.
It's like we can choose to focus on the scenes filled with fear and separation, or we can try to create something different.
Precisely. The sources are very clear on this point. Even with potential guidance from HEs, the true power to evolve rests within each of us.
Yeah.
Every choice we make,
Yeah.
every action we take. It's like choosing which scene we want to watch next on that cosmic DVD.
That's a powerful way to think about it. It kind of reminds me of that quote, "The only thing that stands between you and your dream life is the will to try and the belief that it's actually possible." It sounds like that applies to humanity's evolution as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the sources offer even more encouragement. They remind us that we don't have to achieve some perfect state of being to make a difference.
Right.
Remember, we're all cosmic toddlers here,
Right.
still learning, still growing.
Yeah, you don't yell at a toddler for stumbling while they're learning to walk.
Right.
You encourage them to get back up and keep trying.
Exactly. The third invitation isn't about being perfect. It's about striving. It's about recognizing when we're acting from that place of fear, from ego, and making a conscious effort to choose a different path.
Okay, I'm feeling a little bit more hopeful now, a little bit less overwhelmed by the weight of it all. But I have to ask, with all of these big ideas, all of this talk of cosmic evolution and interdimensional beings, what's the one thing that the sources really want us to remember? What's the one takeaway we can carry with us as we navigate this thing called life?
Well, they leave us with a question.
Okay.
A simple yet profound question that can serve as a guiding light in every moment.
Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with this life-changing question.
The sources ask, is it made of love?
Is it made of love? Wow, that is deceptively simple, but so powerful at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like a filter for every decision, every action, every thought.
Exactly. Ask yourself, is this choice,
Yeah.
this action, this relationship, this thought, is it rooted in love? Does it contribute to the well-being of myself and others? Or is it driven by fear, by ego,
Yeah.
by that illusion of separation?
It's like that gut check we were talking about earlier, but on a whole other level, tuning into that deeper wisdom and asking, is this aligned with my highest self, with the kind of world I want to create?
You got it. That one question, is it made of love, can be a guiding principle as we navigate the complexities of life and our role in this grand journey of evolution.
Wow, this deep dive has really taken us on a journey, hasn't it?
It has.
From confronting the harsh realities of our world to exploring the mind-bending possibilities of highly evolved beings and our own untapped potential.
And remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
The sources encourage us to continue exploring these ideas, to question, to reflect, and to ultimately find our own answers.
I don't know about you, but I am definitely going to be pondering that question. Is it made of love? For a long time to come. It's such a simple question,
Yeah,
but it really does have the power to change everything.
it really does.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe by consistently choosing love, by aligning ourselves with that higher frequency, we'll contribute to a future where humanity no longer needs those subtle whispers or those embodied guides.
Right.
Maybe we'll become the highly evolved beings we're meant to be.
Yeah. Now that's a future worth striving for. Thank you for joining us on this incredible deep dive. Until next time, keep asking those big questions, keep choosing love, and keep exploring the infinite possibilities that exist within you and all around you.